Breaking the yoke of failure. Failure is something that we need to tackle. In my previous video, I made you to understand that failure is not the end of whatever you're doing, but failure is also a process of learning. Today, I want to talk to you about how to break the yoke of failure. Some people have failed simply because they have in the back of their mind that they cannot succeed because some family members, some friends and relatives have failed. So if you are from a background where people's failure has become your hallmark and what makes you think that whatever you're going to do, you're going to fail, then listen very carefully. You are different from every other person. Your talents, your abilities, your capabilities are different. Your destiny is different. Your biological makeup is different. Your cultural background and DNA are all different. So what I'm telling you is that if one person fails in one thing and you are going to do the same or similar thing, that doesn't mean you are going to fail. Sometimes if you are in a family where their language is full of, oh, we do always fail, you are raised up into believing that you are not capable of succeeding, but rather you are equally going to be a failure like your uncles, like your cousins, like your brothers and your sisters. This is not true. One way of becoming a success in the midst of many failures is to be a different person. To be yourself, but not others. Don't imitate what others do. Don't believe in what others believe in. Don't judge things and circumstances from the point of view of others. Most often, we all behave in the same way. We tend to believe in the same thing because our seniors have passed it on to us. In most homes in Africa, we are told, oh, our family, we are not good at this. Our family, we don't do this. Our family, we are not rich. We are poor. We are that. But one way of coming out of this background and succeeding is identifying yourself differently. Tell yourself, if everyone will fail in the family, not me. You don't just say it, but you believe it. How do you believe it? By being genuine to yourself. By not following what the leaders or the elders of that family or of that social group have followed, and that has yielded them with that belief or failure. So what you have to do is to have a different view of life, a different view of the circumstances and the situations that they define as something that is failure. Don't subject yourself to their views and be controlled by those views. If you go by those thinking and those way of believing, you will definitely become a failure like them. Many a times we hear people say that you can't do this because so and so did it and they couldn't do it, they failed. So you are equally going to fail. That is false. Because so and so is different from you. So and so has a different talents, different abilities and capabilities from you. So if they have failed, that doesn't mean you are going to fail. One thing is that we often grow into believing what others have passed on to us. We don't get the opportunity to assess and analyze social events or issues on our own to understand them the way it is, but it is just passed on to us. Recently, I was thinking and something dropped into my mind. In African tradition, when children are growing, elders tell them fictional stories. Some stories very scary, some stories which are embedded with moral lessons, with the aim of influencing those children's lives positively by instilling moral attitudes in them, by training them to become like some of the characters in the stories. Now, what we often forget is that some of these children take these fictional stories as truth, as reality. So they grow and they live their lives based on fictions, based on things that are not real. So how do you live with fictions as reality and succeed? Like some of the stories we hear of a disobedient child being consumed by wild animals, or animals turning into human beings and coming into this town to get married to ladies who were proud and were selective of men. All these stories are fictions. So if you are told fictional things and you grow to believe those fictional things, then your life is definitely going to be like a fiction. So many of us today are living a life that is not real. And the unfortunate thing is that there are so many of these fiction around us, in our artifacts, in our religions, in all the corners. We have fictions, we have things that are not true, which are meant to teach us some attitude, some character, some moral behavior, and all of those things. But we tend to believe them. So if someone lived by fiction and failed, and you also believe in the same fiction and you live by it, there's no way you're going to succeed. So at times we need to push further, to inquire, to ask, to think, to contemplate, to meditate on things that we've been told. Think about things. You see, now one of the traditions in parts of Africa is spiritualists, pastors, imams, malams, fetish priests, and all these people telling others that, oh, it is your uncle, oh, it is your aunt, it is your mother's father, it is your mother's mother who is making you not to succeed. These are fictional things that has become part of our culture, and this is eating us. It's killing people's dreams, it's killing people's energy. Look, I don't care if there is witchcraft. There is equally the Spirit of God that dwells in you, that can enable you and give you the power to overcome witchcraft's manipulations. But if you begin, you see, wherever you turn to, pastors tell you, oh, they buried this thing somewhere here, they did that, they threw your destiny into the sea, and you become weakened. Be wary of what you listen to. Be careful of the people you listen to. Because if you listen to people who are misleading you, the same way they misled people in your family, the same way they misled your role models and your mentors, definitely you're going to fail like them. You're going to fail like them. There are people, marriage couples, who take advice from people who really have failed because they didn't even know why they were in marriage. So definitely one day you're going to fail. Yeah, you're going to fail. Even though those who have divorced have better things to experience to share with you, you have to be careful, because